Hi and welcome to Tristan channel. In this video I have to set the record straight because it's starting to get on my tits, as it were. So I apologise for sounding like a complete dick and for any cursing that I do in this video. On the internet, people keep banging on saying Batman doesn't kill and that he doesn't kill in the comics. First of all, what the actual F? What year were you born in and what issue of comics did you start with? Because Batman killed plenty. Well, as I said in a Facebook post in a group, there's a reason why he's called the Dark Knight and a vigilante. The police can't get their hands dirty, so Batman does. That's also why over the years there was a joke that because Batman beat the hell out of or killed criminals, because he knew that life wasn't black and white and was grey, and some people you had to kill to stop them, and it was Superman who captured and turned them in with a no-kill rule. Hence why Superman was known as the Boy Scout. It is also annoying when his son has a go at him for killing criminals and not killing the Joker in later stories, games, etc. That wasn't Batman's fault, by the way. That was because of the writers. People say, go read a comic. Well, you clearly haven't, since he killed in the comics, especially in the 80s going backwards. He was like the Punisher. He even used guns. Bale's Batman kills, Keaton's Batman kills, Val Kilmer's Batman killed. So please give this he doesn't kill crap a rest. You'll find that it isn't Batman's #1 rule, it was Superman's. It only became Batman's rule because of political correctness. Political correctness kicked in. Basically, a bunch of idiots said that, the same ones who said that violent video games make you violent is the reason Batman no longer kills in comics, because they believed a violent Batman would be a bad influence. Also, especially these days with the anti-gun movement, which, albeit there's nothing wrong with that, however, it's a bloody comic book. It's set in a fictional world that's dark and doesn't have the luxury of disposing of guns. Even, for example, in the CW universe, Oliver Queen told Barry that because of his powers, he is capable of being a hero and not a vigilante. Because with Barry's powers, he can take bad guys down really easy, whereas Oliver is stuck with a kill or be killed situation, the same as Batman. Heroes tend to follow the law and vigilantes take the law into their own hands, e.g., hence the name vigilante. Batman lives in a corrupt system that allows dangerous people to leave jail even if they've been put on a life sentence. He's willing to do the dirty to protect the people. As Jim Gordon puts it in The Dark Knight Rises, I think it's Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight, because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him, because he can take it, because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. What he means is Gotham is dark as F, and brought it upon themselves. And because of Batman's reputation, no one would believe that Golden Boy Harvey Dent was the bad guy. After all, Batman is a byproduct of Gotham's decadence and corruption. Also, don't forget, despite Batman being on the side of justice, he is not far off from the edge. Even the Joker knew this, and in their love-hate relationship, he tries to push Batman to cross that line. Also, to begin with, he was an anti-hero who he only cared about looking for his parents' killer. Then, after which, he then decided not to have that happen to anyone else. Batman is not a white knight. He's a dark knight. He lives in the grey. When first introduced, Batman did not have any concerns about the lives of his enemies. His first confirmed kill was Detective Comics issue 27, where he knocked Alfred Stryker into a vat of acid. Batman continued to murder criminals, cause their deaths, or leave them in lethal situations. In some stories, he also wielded a pistol. Both Bill Finger and Bob Kane mentioned this was due to the influence of pulp action heroes in comics, such as The Shadow and Green Hornet. Both were well known for wielding firearms and often used lethal methods to dispatch enemies. This continued until Batman issue 1, where he gunned down Hugo Strange's henchman and hung one of the monster men with a noose from the bat gyro. However, the story featured Batman's first indication that he disliked taking lives and was only using lethal force because he saw it necessary on this occasion. So with that, as a more sensible practical development. However, if the person was a threat to the people, this doesn't mean he'd still turn them in, he'd kill them. As I said earlier, according to Bob Kane, this incident invoked complaints from parents due to children becoming interested following the introduction of Robin, and that would have a bad influence. It's just a comic. This led editor Whitney Ellsworth to tell Finger to never have him use guns again. The editor later created a policy for all published characters from killing, which stated, "Heroes should never kill a villain, no matter the depths of his villainy." Officially, Batman's no-killing rule came into effect in Batman issue 4 during a sword fight with pirates. Batman tells Robin, "Use only the flat of your sword." Robin, "Remember, we never kill with weapons of any kind." Furthermore, the character began working alongside with the Gotham City Police Department and was deputized as an agent of the law. This now meant Batman was no longer considered a vigilante and would have to work within the guidelines of the law. Also explains the Adam West thing, why he works for the cops now. Which is why the films are doing the character justice, because in the real world, Batman would be still labelled a vigilante. Despite these changes, Batman still continued to kill criminals in his stories, though most were indirect, caused by either knocking them into hazards or throwing them off buildings. Well, throwing someone off a building, I wouldn't say was indirect. It's not like Batman thinks they're going to bounce when they reach the bottom. However, direct kills were kind of gradually phased out, though they still continued to occur, albeit rarely, again, depending on author and publisher. Batman's use of lethal tactics finally stopped after a trip to the front lines of World War II during Batman issue 15. This issue was notably one of the largest sprees in his history, causing a vehicle crash and later destroyed an entire warship full of soldiers. The issues also depicted Batman using a machine gun on the cover of the issue. After this incident, and with the new policies in place, Batman would not kill his enemies and even attempt to prevent their deaths. He also stopped using weapons that could be used to cause deadly harm, such as guns and swords. Even though he can kill his batarang and his grappling gun. Never mind. Some stories would justify this as him allowing the courts to serve justice, with the character now being on the side of the police and the law. Due to Frederick Wertham's seduction of the innocent, targeting comics for violent acts and blaming them for juvenile delinquency. The Magazine Association of America created the Comics Code, authorities' guidelines to prevent government intervention. Comic books, including issues of Batman and Detective Comics, would need to abide by these if they wished to be published, meaning Batman and other characters had to abide to stricter rules. You can find this, despite the fact that villains could kill the you can find this full history online. I was about to say, it's ironic that villains can still be allowed to kill. Anyway. But here's a short list of some of the times Batman killed in comics. Number 1, Detective Comics issue 27, punched man into an acid vat. Number 2, Detective Comics 29, burns Doc to death, sets a guy on fire. 3, Detective Comics 30, Batman snaps a man's neck. 4, Detective Comics 32, kills the Mad Monk. Detective Comics 37, pushes man onto sword. Number 6, Batman issue 1, hanging giant. Number 7, Batman issue 1, kills Hugo Strange. Number 8, Batman 420, buries KG Beast alive. Number 9, Batman 425, kills Garzonas in the scrapyard. Number 10, Red Rain, kills Dracula. 11, Bloodstorm, stakes Joker. Number 12, Justice League America, kills the Nail. 13, All-Star Batman and Robin, Batman burns criminals alive. Number 14, Final Crisis, Batman shoots Darkseid. Still don't matter if they're villains. People say he doesn't kill villains, remember? Number 15, The Hunt for the Beast, leaves KG Beast to die again. Number 16, even tries to kill Superman in Dark Knight Returns. Times Batman killed in the movies. Number 1, kills the Joker's goons in Batman the movie. Number 2, kills the Joker in Batman the movie. Number 3, kills the Fire Eater in Batman Returns. Number 4, kills the tattooed strongman in Batman Returns. Number 5, kills Two-Face, Batman Forever. These are just some examples. Anyway. Number 6, kills the League of Shadows, Batman Begins. Number 7, kills Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. Indirect action, still kills him. 8, kills Two-Face, The Dark Knight. Number 9, everyone in the warehouse, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Number 10, literally everyone in sight, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Number 11, even tries to kill Superman in Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. So please, stop moaning and bitching about Batman killing and saying he doesn't, because he did and he still does. It all comes down to the restrictions on comics and films and their content. In case someone gets butthurt. Oh, you go. It's why many people love the Pattinson Batman, because he's not just a depicted as a good detective, but he is brutal as F. Morons believed, just like violent video games, that a killer Batman would set a bad example, like their kids were going to dress up as Batman and go around killing burglars. It also makes no difference to the argument if the people he killed were criminals or not, because the statement people have been saying is Batman doesn't kill the bad guys. Batman is the hero Gotham needs because, as Harvey said, if you fight monsters for too long, you may see yourself becoming one. Unlike good Harvey Dent, who went basically just nuts, Batman is the hero Gotham needs because he can do the dirty and carry the weight, that burden of doing the dirty work without crossing the line into the dark side. Notice that Batman's methods are different outside of Gotham. That's because Gotham is DC's worst city for crime and corruption. Also, the benefit of his friendship with Clark is that Clark stops him from doing the dirty and helps him become a better person. And Batman, at the same time, makes sure that Clark doesn't cross the line and becomes bad or tainted, helping him remain being the Superman that everyone loves and sees as a symbol of hope. The number one rule that people speak of was always Clark's. It never was always Batman's rule. Also, one could say Batman eventually stopped doing things his way because Superman, the symbol of hope, showed him another way. And with the films, Batfleck had only just met Clark. It's not until the actual Justice League film that he steps into the light. We may laugh at the Martha scene, "Save Martha," but what the director says actually makes sense. When he heard the name Martha, he realised he was about to kill Clark, a man who was somebody's son. He, at that moment, was becoming a man like the very same one kind of person who orphaned him. When speaking to Alfred of his regret, he confessed that Superman was the better man and had inspired him because Superman was a god and he could have squashed Batman like a bug at any given moment. And also realised that he was stupid because he also said that Superman had lived amongst us for years and did not destroy this world when he could have done. Batfleck, before this, was blinded by rage after the battle with Zod in Metropolis, and even Alfred warned him what rage does to a man. And that is reflected in the comics for years. Batman felt rage towards criminals. He didn't want people to suffer like he did when he was young. His relationship with Clark and the Justice League helped soothe the rage and helped him see more clearer. So please stop it, okay? With this incessant bitching and moaning about Batman killing criminals. It's what he does, especially in Gotham, where it's killed or be killed. The fact he hasn't killed Joker makes him look stupid. The suffering that Joker has caused and inflicted on Batman and everyone else, and will cause, he is a dangerous force to be allowed to live. And many have reprimanded Bruce for not killing him. So, thanks for watching. Just needed to get that off my chest. Hope you have a great week and take care and be well.